Hi everybody, my name is Annie. Today I'm going to be making this DIY of a pumpkin and a squash. Each of them is made from a 12 by 12 sheet of paper that is double sided. They both have like a color in the inside and the color of the outside. And it also has LED light candle in the inside. So this is how it is. I'm also going to show you how it looks in the dark. This is how it looks if you want to put it on as a centerpiece or the hallway, anywhere you like, on the windowsill, anywhere. But this is how it's going to look. To me, it looks very nice and beautiful. So now I'm going to teach you how to do the tutorial. Okay, I'm gonna need two piece of 12 by 12, one for the pumpkin. I'm gonna use this one for the pumpkin and one for the squash, and they both gonna be double-sided, like they both gonna have another color. And then I'm also gonna be using an 8.5 by 11. So I'm gonna have two. And right here I have this one, which I'm gonna glue to this one because I want this one to be the inside for the pumpkin. And then this one will be for the squash. So now, right now, I'm gonna put this away. And I'm gonna start from this one. Now, this is gonna be the top and the bottom. So now I'm going to turn him. Now on the top, over here, I'm going to be measuring 1/2 inch with the ruler. I'm going to take the ruler and I'm going to mark 1/2 inch. And then in the middle, I'm going to make another line marking the 1/2 inch. This will be the 1/2 inch right there. So the 1/2 inch over here, and then I'm gonna take the ruler and I'm gonna connect those little dots that I made, and I'm gonna go and make a straight line all the way to the other corner. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the bottom, which I also did already. This will be 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. Now, what I'm also gonna do now is I'm gonna put the ruler on top of that line, and I'm gonna be marking each 1/2 inch on the paper. And I'm also gonna do it on the bottom. I'm gonna be marking just a little dot so I could know every 1/2 inch. Once I do that, I'm gonna take the ruler and I'm gonna be connecting those little dots from the top of the line and the bottom. I'm gonna connect it so it could be straight, and then I'm just gonna make a line straight down, and I'm gonna go to the other connection that I did, the next dot with the next second dot, and I'm gonna make sure that it's straight, and I'm gonna go ahead and make a straight line down, and I'm gonna continue this all the way down the paper, straight down. Once I do all the line, this is how it's gonna look every 1/2 inch. And once I'm done doing that, I'm gonna take a utility knife and I'm gonna go ahead and put it on top of the line that I made. And I'm going to make sure that it's straight. Once I have that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut from the top of the little line on the line that they both connected. I'm going to go and cut straight down. Now this is how it's gonna look. It's not gonna pass this. You see it's connecting right there, and on the bottom it's not passing the line. It's just on the line. So I'm gonna be doing the same thing I did on the first time. I'm gonna do it all the way across until I do everything. They're all gonna be like in strips like that. So I'm gonna be back when I'm done with them. Now this is how it's gonna look once I cut all of them down all the way to the line, to the connection. This is how it's gonna look. So right now I'm gonna put it to the side, and I'm gonna take this paper, you know, maybe I'm just gonna try, because maybe this is gonna be like too dark for the light. Let me see for the tea light how it's gonna look. If not, I just try. Wanna see the light's gonna. You know, I'm gonna keep this one only by itself. I'm not gonna go ahead and glue it to this other paper, because I see that it's not gonna go through. If I put this, you see, you're not gonna see really the light. So with this one, so I'm just gonna try with this one. It's not that thick, but I'm just gonna try. So what I'm gonna do now with this is I'm gonna go down the 8.5 inch, and I'm gonna take let me see, what is this, like this is 1/7, no, 1/8. Oh, I'm getting confused now. It's a 7/8. The side of the tape is 7/8. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put it down here all the way to the end, and I'm gonna cut it off. So correction again, this is a 7/8, the size of this double-sided tape. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the end of the other paper, because this I'm gonna make it like into a tube. I'm gonna take the paper first. Let me make sure that it's very stuck to the paper. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna peel it off, and I'm gonna do it by section. I'm gonna do it by section. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this, and I'm gonna make sure, see the sticky side? I don't know if you can see the. So I'm gonna take it right there on top of that, where the tape end. I'm gonna be placing the paper little by little, so it won't glue the wrong way, you know, like crooked or something like that. So I'm gonna be doing little by little. Let me hold this here, and I'm gonna be taking and pressing down. Pressing down. I'm gonna finish there. And now I have a tube. As you see, I have a tube. And now the next step that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the tape, and I'm gonna put it all around. Now you see, I put it all around. Now I'm just gonna press on it a little bit, being careful that it doesn't bend. Press it down, and I also did it on the bottom. I already put tape, so I'm gonna be pressing it all like this. Now, the next step, I'm gonna come back over here and look. I wasn't careful enough, and I broke it there a little bit, so I'm just gonna put, and I'm using this one, the Gorilla Glue, because it dries fast. This one wasn't working for this paper. I don't know why, because it felt like this paper have a little bit of wax maybe, and it wasn't gluing it, or I don't know what was with the thing. Now I'm gonna take the top. This will be the top. I'm gonna take the top, and this I will make it the top. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take, oh no, the first step, the next step that I gotta do to this paper is I'm gonna be folding on the line of the 1/2 inch. I'm gonna be folding it to the inside. To the inside, I'm gonna be folding it. And I'm gonna be doing the same to the bottom. See, I'm folding on the line. Now, once I do that, I feel like if I cut one of the things, like, okay, once I do that, now I'm gonna be on the top. This will be the top. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come back here on the tube, and I'm gonna peel a little bit at a time. Now this part over here, the 1/2 inch, I'm gonna be gluing it right there. I'm gonna be like putting it like both edges, the edges of the paper and of the tube connect together. Try to make this as even as I can. You see that it looks like one paper right there. So anyway, the whole thing, I'm gonna be doing this carefully. Carefully. Peeling little by little and putting the two paper to glue together. And now that I got here, as you see, I have left over. I have one. Let me see. Okay, so I'm gonna cut two of these. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut on the line. I'm gonna cut two, leaving the 1/2 inch. See, I'm leaving the 1/2 inch. Now I'm gonna go back on the bottom, and this is the two that I cut. I'm also gonna cut it on the line. Leaving this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut a 1/2 inch from that and a 1/2 inch from this one. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the glue stick, and in the back of this piece I'm gonna be putting the glue right there, and then I'm gonna go under here, and I'm gonna glue it right there. See, this is how it should look on the top. Now I'm gonna go, let me make sure this is like, I'll bend it down. I cut a little bit. Let me see if when I was cutting it, I cut off a little bit where I wasn't supposed to cut. The line went sideways when I was cutting. So let me see if I could fix this little piece there, glue it together. Give it a little time. Okay, now that I glued that piece together, so I'm gonna come back over here. I'm gonna come back over here. And I'm gonna make sure that I connect this with the same, in the same place I connected this one. So this one is gonna be like this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start peeling little by little. And now let me make sure I don't want them to be crooked or anything like that. Okay, so now I'm gonna go and press down. Oh, the paper came back. Okay. I want to make sure that it's on the right positions. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to peel the tape little by little, the paper off of the side, double-sided tape. Now that's it. Now I'm going to put on this flap on the back of it, I'm going to put glue. And now I'm going to pick this one up and I'm going to push that one and tape it under right there. You see, if it didn't went all the way to the line, so I'm just gonna press and open it there a little bit so it could go all the way to the line. So right now, this is how the pumpkin is looking. So now what I need to do is I need to get a piece of cardboard. Now what I'm using is the card stack. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it, I should have done it when I did the tube in the beginning. I should go ahead and trace it before I put this on. So because it's gonna be a little bit difficult, but the other way that I could do it is I just go and put it in there, and then I just gonna put the pencil and move it all around in the shape of the circle, and then I will be cutting it out. I'm going to be cutting this circle out. Now I cut him. I cut the circle, and I went ahead and I cut a piece of cardboard. It's also a thin one, but it's gonna make it feel stronger. So now I'm gonna take the LED tea light candle, and I'm gonna put it on top, and I'm gonna trace it all around. Trace the shape of the candle, and now I'm gonna take the utility knife, and I'm gonna be cutting. And once I do that, I'm gonna take the scissor, pass it through, and I'm gonna cut on top of the line. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the LED candle, and I'm gonna pass it. This is gonna be the bottom, so I'm gonna pass it over here. Okay, this one was a little bit big, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hot glue it. Gonna get the glue gun. Okay, now this will be like this. It's gonna be like this. And since this is the outside, I'm gonna put the candle like this, and I'm gonna put a little bit of glue here because the opening was a little bit too big, so I'm just gonna put it there like that. Then I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit more glue here. Let it dry there. Now I'm gonna come and put glue, a little bit of glue, hot glue all the way on top. Now I'm gonna come back to this, and I'm just gonna place it on top. And the reason I do it like this is so you could be able to turn off the candle on and off from here. You see the light coming through? You see the light? So this is basically the pumpkin. Now the only thing you gotta do, I don't have a bouquet for this one, but I have made this one for the other one. So basically I took another paper over here, and I used some of this letters that I have from another package, and I cut out some letter and I spelled blessing. And then I also fussy cut it so I could only have this instead of the whole square so it could fit better. So then I glue it to over here and then I put a bow with a little sunflower. So now this is how the new one looks. I mean, the one that I just made. This is how it looks. Now I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna show you how to do the squash. Okay, I went and did the same thing as the pumpkin. It has the pumpkin shape. I did the candle, the standing thing, everything the same. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut like 12-inch maybe. Let me see. You know it's more. I would say like 15 inches long. A piece of ribbon. I'm using this one. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the ribbon and I'm gonna put it around. And this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this. And press down. Press down. Now I want to make sure I got the even. Okay, let me try it again. I want to make sure that the ribbon is even. Well, I'm gonna go make a bowl. So I'm gonna do it because this is the line, so I'm gonna leave that line for the back. So I'm just gonna do this, and I'm gonna make a knot. Right now you see the shape that it took, like a squash, and if you want you could put a little bit more. You could push this a little bit more here if you don't want it that flat. But first I'm gonna do the bowl. Gonna go ahead and make a bowl. Once this is how it's gonna look. See, took a shape like a squash. And if you want to make this pop out a little bit more too, you could just pull it. It's going back down a little bit because I don't have this too tight. Let me just tie it a little bit more so I could show you. Okay, I went and I tied it, and I pulled the little strip a little bit. You see how you could leave it flat like that if you want, but you could also, like the first one I made, I left it flat, and you just put a little bit, make it even, and you see how it looks. Pretty. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have one of these and one of these, and a yellow one, and one of these sunflower, and I'm gonna be gluing it to the bowl. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put this together. Now I'm gonna come back here to the bowl, and then I'm gonna place it there. Wait a few seconds. Okay, this is the first one I made. You see, I made it flat. This one is the second one that I put the little strips up. And this is how it look. So you could do it either which way if you plan to make one. And I'm gonna use the bouquet for this one. I don't have one for that one. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it here. And I did the same thing with this. And I spelled harvest. So now this is how it's gonna look. And if you decide to make your own, you could just make it with plain. You could put some of this little decoration. You could decorate them, like skip one or two and decorate it with this. You could put it on the inside little line all around it as well if you want to make it like different, but I just giving you an example if you want to make one, so you could do it. So I hope you enjoy watching the video, and thank you so much, and give me a like and share and subscribe, because I'm going to be making more DIY. So I'm going to show you how it looks in the dark. So this is how it looks. This one, it looks a little bit different because you could see the flowers on the paper on this one. I like the way that one is more than the first one. The first one is just orange, and this is orange as well. You see? So I hope you like it, and bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. I stacked them up to put them away. And look, if you stack them up, look at how pretty also look. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you.